Seems like we've got a mystery on our hands. What's up, peeps? It's Percolating, and today we are back with Storytime Saturday. We are playing Lucid9. You guys already know this, but hey, I'm pretty sure you guys are already keeping up with this, but goddamn, I'm enjoying this story, so you know what? I'm not even gonna waste any more extra time. Let's get right back into it. Now, if you guys remember, last time we played, we had to do puzzles, which I was not ready for in this. I really wasn't. We had to do puzzles and like actually decide what was right and what was wrong and deduce things and be fucking detectives for a bit. So I'm really excited to see how the rest of this fucking game is gonna go if there's those kinds of puzzles just to get me into a thing. So all that being said, that was the last thing that we did. We also had a couple of issues with Rui and Misaki, but obviously that's gonna end up playing out however it's gonna play out. I remember I came up with a couple theories, but I don't remember exactly what they were. They'll come back to me, and of course I will continue to theorize as I continue. So all things considered, let's get right back where we left off. When I arrived at school, still bleary-eyed from nighttime excursions, I was greeted with an unusual sight. A group of students, primarily female, are huddled around the post as I edge closer. I managed to listen in. Your fault! She was wrong about you, and now she's gone. What did you do to her, you freak? Where is she? Tell me where she is, please. Answer him! How could you do this to us? Suddenly, Rui blazes by me into the center of the group, which bounces backward in shock. I'm barely able to catch a glimpse of her face through the massive heads. What are you guys doing? Out of the way, Rui. Rui, this has nothing to do with you. No, I'm tired of this. You've been picking on her since school started, and you don't even have a good reason. Good reason? Talk to Shoji. He's our good reason. The group shuffles apart, granting me some space. I finally managed to see the cause of the problem. A slight figure, crouched against the gate with an empty look in. Wait, isn't that the same girl I met yesterday? Well, Shoji? She's been missing for 2 days, and no one can find her. Didn't go home, doesn't answer calls or texts. It's like she disappeared. Disappeared, just like the rumors said. You guys do remember who started the rumors, right? Look, Rui, this would make the 3rd disappearance. Haven't you been watching the news? Yeah, this is the third time that an academy student has vanished off the face of the planet. And coincidentally, right after talking with Ari. Technically, Midori disappeared before school started. Yeah, just like 2 days before. Wow, why are you so stubborn? Ari's guilty. Why are you so stubborn? Maybe she's not. Clearly you don't understand how people work. No wonder you don't have any friends. Rui's face closes in hurt, and a raw, fiery pang of rage courses through my body. I stormed to her side, unceremoniously shoving away anyone in my path. Yama? Oh, you. Who's this, your boyfriend? My anger briefly sojourns into panic, but I shove it away. You're all disgusting. Picking on someone just because she's not like you? Hey, you don't even know the context. Butt out. And oh, let me guess. You know everything? You know for certain that Ari, has anything to do with these disappearances. Twice is coincidence, thrice is a pattern. A pattern for narrow-sighted people who won't take in any other factors. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? There aren't any other patterns. The police said so themselves. Oh, and they told you this directly. It was on the news, moron. And it's not like the news has ever twisted the facts or told us anything but the honest truth. You wouldn't be acting so high and mighty if you knew how important Akane is. I don't give a fuck who Akane is. You wouldn't be acting so prejudiced if you had a brain. Words are spilling out of my mouth before I can even consciously think of them. My whole body thrums with cold, frozen hatred. Weird, freak, don't want to play with you. I'm not letting anyone else go through that. Not Rui, not Ari. You think we're being rude to Ari? You're being rude to Shoji. Yeah, she was the love of Shoji's life. Because everyone knows that high school relationships last forever, he'll probably get over it in a week or two. A deadly silence descends the group. Rui pinches my sleeve, her expression unusually troubled. That went a bit too far, Yama. I only clench my jaw and lock eyes with the boy called Shoji. His face blinks from panic to nothingness in less than a second. A chilled silence falls over the entrance. You. He staggers forward, raising a tremulous hand. You bastard. His fingers pull into a fist, and before I can blink, his hand is soaring straight at me. A shadow blurs in front of me, swiping at Shoji's arm. Shoji tumbles to the ground as if thrown by an unknown force. The moment is held on pause, broken only by frantic whisperings of the gathering crowd around us. Shoji jerkily pushes himself to his feet, his footing loose from fury. Ari idly steps in front of me, arms hanging limply by her sides. Her expression is passive, but something about it gives Shoji pause. Hey, what's going on over there? Oh, it's Mr. Ryota. Mr. Ryota pushes through the throng of the throng of students apart, books hiked under one arm. All the students start to babble at once. Mr. Ryota, Akane's been absent for 2 days. Can't contact her. This guy provoked Shoji into a fight. Mr. Ryota waves his hand for silence, an unusually stern expression on his face. Shoji, are you hurt? No, sir. Good. Rui? Yes, Mr. Ryota? Meet me during lunch. You too, Noriko. Yes, Mr. Ryota. Both of you will give me your account on what just happened. I'll make a judgment after I've heard both stories. Understood? Sullen silence meets his inquiry. He only sighs. Accusations are for children. You guys know that, right? If you're going to claim something, use evidence. If you're going to fight, make sure you have the right reason. Dismissed. Damn, Mr. Yoda coming in like a fucking badass. He said, look, y'all ain't gonna be dumbasses on my campus doing some bullshit. God damn it. He waves his hand to scatter us off to class. We head to the classrooms in silence, splitting ways at the staircase. I notice that Rui keeps close to Ari, stubbornly meeting the gaze of any gawkers en route. Well, looks like I'm gonna get in trouble. Surprise, surprise. Bitch. I probably shouldn't have interfered with that situation. I probably should have stayed out of it. Usually I do. I know that high school is basically just a cesspool of idiocy, and it's best to keep out of it. No, not even high school. Life in general. But seeing that girl there hedged in by such a large group of students, being accused with nothing to defend herself, and seeing Rui leap to her defense just like she did for me 10 years ago. Aww. Well, I guess it brought out something that surprised even myself. If anyone has a right to suspect that girl, it should be me. First, I meet her walking alone in District 6, acting like some creepy mechanical doll, and then I learn that her reputation at the school is sketchy at best. That's suspicious even by my standards, and I'm friends with Yahiko. But it's possible that everything is a misunderstanding. It's possible that she really just wants friends and that she's a normal person inside, and that she just had a difficult time conveying her thoughts. I understand that feeling. I understand it more than anyone else. Ahem. I shake myself out of my thoughts and take it into my surroundings. Looks like some of morning classes have passed. Yeah, I totally wasn't paying attention. Really? Who would have thought? In front of me, 3 girls with hair and makeup arranged just like Elizabeth's stand with very indignant, superior expressions. I quickly recognize them as the most avid members in her fan club. Hey, Lizard, we have something to say to you. Oh, lucky me. They ignore me, crossing their arms in uncanny unison. We hear that you're giving Elizabeth a hard time. I glance at Elizabeth, whose eyes are wide with panic. Interesting. Looks like she has no hand in this. Looks like she has no hand in this development. Then where did they get this information from? You better stop before we make you. Elizabeth deserves better. Idiots. I only snort and turn back to my homework. Hey, look at us! Bitch! No thanks, I don't feel like vomiting. I think, but I managed to keep my mouth shut. Thoroughly exasperated of these girls, I nod my head at Elizabeth and raise my eyebrow in warning. Her face pales slightly and she slides over to my desk, smiling faintly at the three girls. Hello. Oh, Elizabeth, this guy's been bothering you for a while, right? Elizabeth opens her mouth, clearly intent on agreeing with the girls, but I shake my head ever so slightly. She grits her teeth together, but somehow manages to keep her smile intact. Thanks for the concern, but it's really fine. The girls blink in clear surprise. Yeah, go fuck yourselves. Are you sure? Weren't you just saying the other day? Saying what? I don't know what you're saying. She sends an uneasy glance at me. I only smile innocently. This really shouldn't be fun, but it is remarkably so. I thought Yama was bothering. No, it was a misunderstanding. Oh, all right. In other words, go fuck yourselves. They nod slightly at me like that's an adequate apology. We're keeping an eye on you. Don't mess with Elizabeth. They strut out of the classroom, their footsteps in perfect unison. In other words, they're basic bitches. That's what I'm getting out of this. Anyway, I turn to Elizabeth. She grips the edge of her seat until her knuckles turn white. I really can't believe you. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Despicable. She turns away from me in a huff. Excuse me? I'm not even the one who started it all. Heck, she's the one who's constantly picking a fight. It's always been that way. Whatever, this isn't worth thinking about. I turn my attention back to the front of the classroom as the break comes to an end. The rest of the morning classes slug by uneventfully. This time, Elizabeth is clearly sulking. Masaki is just as focused as ever. And by focus, I really mean that she's on her phone the entire period. When lunchtime comes, I tap Yahiko on the shoulders as I grab my backpack. Hey, lunch? Huh? What? Lunch. Cafeteria. Yeah, right. Sure, cafeteria. Something wrong? Nope, absolutely nothing wrong. I was just thinking, it'd be nice to have a couple more minions. Isn't that what your club is for? Club? The blank look on his face is foreign to me. I slap him on the back. A club that'll take over the universe. Your, minions. Clearly I'm really bad at this. Whoa. Huh? It's lunchtime. When was it? Did I time travel? A quick sigh of relief passes my lips before I'm able to spot it. See, seems like Yahiko's back to normal. Yeah, it's 4018 AD. You've been asleep for more than 2,000 years. I have? I didn't feel that rest yet. Well, we kept you in a cryo freeze during a light stage of your sleep cycle rather than REM. You mean I was scammed and 2,000 years of deep sleep? On the contrary, you were saved from 2,000 years of homework. Oh, I guess you're right. I wonder when he'll realize that I'm not supposed to be alive. Well, super realistic hologram Yama, shall we go grab some lunch? Or do you guys still eat that kind of thing? Or he could make a totally ridiculous yet somehow plausible assumption. I mean, that is a fair play. 2,000 years, I'd expect some fucking holograms around this bitch. Fuck you mean. Indeed we do. Then what are we waiting for? I want to see what kind of cuisine has developed after 2,000 years. Thoroughly re-energized, he skips out the door. I'm just about to follow, but I feel a sudden tap on my elbow. Yama Ishimoto. It's the girl from the cafe. Natsuki, was it? I glance at Elizabeth. She's in the middle of some fluffy talk with her groupies, and intentionally keeping her back to me. Lizzie's over there. I'm aware of that. She isn't the one with whom I wish to speak. What do you want? I have a simple question for you. As far as I can tell, nothing simple when it comes to a girl. Have you ever felt like two people were fighting for your body? Have you ever felt like two people are fighting for your body? What the? Okay. Bitch, what kind of occult shit are you into? Like, let's make this clear right now. This is some occult shit right here. Have you ever felt like two people were fighting for your body? You ever felt that way? What? More specifically, fighting for control over your body. Like mind control? No, more like two different entities in simultaneous residence, resulting in widely different actions or processes of thought. A chill runs up my spine. I think it'd be fairly obvious if I'm going through something like that. Well, you may or may not have any recollection of the other entity. Something about her mysterious smile sets me on edge. And what's with all of the sudden questions? Psychology paper. We're studying dissociative identity disorder. Which is... colloquially, it's known as multiple personality disorder. I would say you should know of it already, but perhaps your alter ego surfaces during psychology class. I clenched my jaw at her obvious accusations, searching to find an answer in her face. I find none. This bitch is creepy. This bitch is creepy. So, do I look like the kind of person who has multiple personality disorder? Do you want to know the answer to that question? Look, I gotta go. Sorry. Try asking Elizabeth. She's the one who rapidly switches between being nice and being a pain in the ass. She only nods and smiles, but I sense her eyes boring through the back of my head as I slip out of the classroom. The catheter room. I attempt to shake off the encounter as I head to the cafeteria, but Natsuki's words linger in the back of my mind. Thankfully, when I arrive, Yahako immediately waves me over, face cheerily shining. Have a seat, my loyal minion. Today's special is baby back ribs. I can see that from your plate. You can divine stuff from my plate? Look into my love life fortune. He's acting awfully normal. Did he already forget that he's supposed to be 2,000 years into the future? Just eat. Well, I suppose I'll let it slide this time, but a master is supposed to command his minions, not the other way around. Exactly. What? Nothing. I glance around the cafeteria as I start my own plate. I recognize quite a few faces. Natsuki and Elizabeth surrounded by groupies. Masato and a few track members. Akira and a few drama club members. Rui absent, probably speaking to Mr. Ryota on my behalf. Masaki too, though I rarely see her around outside of class. And in the corner, eating alone, is Ari. She seems to be satisfied eating her own plate of ribs. What's up with the peach? Like, for real, what's up with the peach, though? Something about the picture looks empty, lonely. Say, that gives me an idea. So how's it been with the ladies? Huh? Need you even ask? Fantabulous, of course. Would you mind teaching me this humble servant your ways? I thought you never asked, but why now? I try to wave off his question by gesturing in Ari's direction. So how about her? Oh, someone caught your eye, have they? His eyes flicker in Ari's direction. I expect him to coo about how adorable she is, and how lovely her hair is, how perfect her nose or chin or whatever is, but he pauses, his brow furrowed in confusion. Huh? What is it? She looks kind of familiar. Like, really familiar. Ordinarily, I'd think he's crafting up a pickup line, but his bewilderment seems genuine. Where'd you see her? Huh? I have no clue. Eventually, he just shrugs it off with an easygoing grin. Well, my good minion, we shouldn't be wasting time. Watch and learn from the great master. Well, I guess it's not that important. As always, I actually would be honored to see your spectacular techniques. I know, right? You should be grateful I'm not making you pay tuition for such enlightening lessons. Well, they're certainly enlightening, but probably not in the way he's thinking. I bet that the number of girls you've seduced is uncountable. You got that right. Well, technically 0 is uncountable. First lesson, my dear apprentice, never waste time. Are they eating? Great. Depressed and withdrawn? Fantastic. Saying that they want to be alone? Perfect. Love waits for nobody, Yama. Remember that. I can't help but chuckle at just how terrible his advice is. By any chance, have you gotten slapped? Oh yeah, all the time. Why is he saying that like that's a badge of honor? You see, invoking a strong reaction means you've touched the young lady's heart. The line between love and hate is thinner than the line between love and apathy. That's why the most important thing is to make a big impression. That's unusually perceptive. On that note, we're wasting time. There's an adorable lass to seduce. Yahako promptly skips over to Ari, eyebrows raised in a flirtatious attack. Hey, how does it feel to be the most beautiful girl in the room? Looks like the Akira is already hitting hard. How will his opponent respond? It's not very effective. Can I see your uniform tag? I gotta see if you were made in heaven. A spectacular hit. How will the last dodge out of this one? China. Huh? The uniforms are made in China. Akari staggers back from the fatal counter. Well, I meant... It seems he's in a state of shock. The last seizes this opportunity for an offensive maneuver. Your food. What? Will you eat it? Hey, what are you doing to my ribs? It's a critical hit. The last bold move has paralyzed Akari. You're gonna get fat if you eat too much. I'm 102 pounds. You're what? But you can't be that short. 5 feet 2 inches. It's super effective. Akari is silenced. The last spends her free turns munching at her newly acquired meal. It's sort of adorable, like a baby hamster munching at... But anyway, back to the match. Akari studies the last for a moment, no doubt attempting to analyze any potential weak points. This kid's a tough one. Usually I don't allow things like this, but Yama, why don't you give it a shot? Nah, I'm just a commentator of this battle. What? Nothing. Thankfully, Akari decides to switch his attention from the lowly commentator back to his original target. This is great. Why aren't you responding? You should be honored that someone like me is paying attention to someone like you. Tell me, you swing that way? I'm straight. A clean hit at his vital point. It's looking bad for Akari. Then why? The last merely finishes up Akari's ribs and moves on to her own. Are you a witch who took some weird potion to resist me? Why are you unaffected by my charms? Akari has gone berserk. He's attempting a wild haymaker. Stop ignoring me! Ugh, forget it. You're just like the other commoners. You don't deserve being seduced by a superior being like me. Answer me when I'm talking to you! My meat is getting cold. What an amazing display of indirect trash talking. The last has just placed Akari below some humble baby back ribs. You? Akari heard himself in his confusion. Meanie! Bully! I'll have my revenge! I tell you, revenge! And Akari exits the ring. Automatic forfeit. Instant KO. Nothing. As Ari finishes up the meat on her plate, I settle into the chair next to her. It's hard to tell from the stoic expression on her face, but she seems a little happier than a few moments ago. Do you want my ribs? Didn't you eat all of them? I did. Then why did you offer? Then why are you here? the very least, she's more open than when I met her yesterday. I'm sitting. Da-da-da-da. What's up with this? It's weird. Also, this music's kind of eerie. Oh, never mind. There comes the next part of it, which, yeah, there it is. Okay, sitting is nice. Da-da-da. Her expression doesn't even budge. Sitting makes the world go round. Da-da-da. And sitting is good for you. It's bad for you. Her response catches me off guard. What? Da-da-da-da. Well, at least she's talking to me. That's a start. How can sitting be bad for you? Higher risk in obesity, high cholesterol, lower back pain, cardiovascular disease, and 2 types of diabetes. She says this so monotonously, I can't tell whether she's joking or deathly serious. But sitting doesn't cause that, right? Ari evaluates me for a moment, but only returns to her food without a word. I'm searching for a different topic to discuss when she abruptly speaks again. What's your name? Yama Ishimoto. Da-da-da-da. 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 You're not gonna comment on it? You know, it's an unusual name. Not like Lerogue Lamparde. Lerogue Lamparde? As in from Code Desu? Code Deus? Deuce? Code Deuce? Deus, yeah. You know it? Vaguely. It's a fairly popular series among young adults, but I'm surprised that someone like her would know about it. Well, next to Lerogue Lamparde, there can't be many strange names. And she's eating a peach now. Ari only reaches into her backpack and begins to munch on a peach. For a moment, I pick up my ribs in silence, but she speaks again. What is your Deus? My what? Deus. Special power. I'm not sure what she's getting at, but I guess I might as well follow her. My special power is creating sardines out of thin air. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Canned or fresh? She doesn't seem phased in the slightest. Both. So freshly canned? I guess. Make some now. Sardines? Da-da-da. Of the many weird situations I've encountered over the course of my short life, this might just take the top. She's joking, right? Sure. I flourish my hand and tap the table. There, sardines. That's a table. What was she expecting to see? Actual spontaneous materialization of freshly canned sardines? You know I actually can't make sardines out of thin air, right? You said you could. Either she's better at trolling than I am, or she really wasn't joking. I wasn't serious. Then why did you say it? I'm too baffled by her thought process to make an intelligible reply. Thankfully, Ari only returns to nibbling at her peach, as if she'd never been asked a question. The awkward silence is punctuated by the signature school bell, an opportunity that I take with gratitude. Well, see you. She blinks wildly at me. My name is Ari Haraga. Okay. That was abrupt. I didn't tell you before. She suddenly stands, picks up her tray, and strides into the opposite side of the cafeteria to dump her dishes. Well, that was random. What an eccentric girl. I wouldn't call that eccentric. Yeah, I don't think I'd call that eccentric. There's another word for it, but I can't think of it right now. Unless, by telling me her name, she was trying to say that she trusted me, or that she'd like to become friends. Maybe she has some kind of mental disability that inhibits her social functions. She's offbeat, but interesting. I can see why she became the scapegoat. It's likely that other students are scared by her unorthodox behavior. Just because she's different, she becomes the bad guy. They should know better. They should give her a chance. Afternoon classes are another dreary pass. This time, even Yakuko is sullen, staring into his desk and murmuring nonsensical words under his breath. Yakuko, I'm starting to worry about you, homie. The moment the bell rings, Masato blazes into the classroom and lunges for me. I instinctively crawl beneath the desk, embracing myself a full measure of his fury. You! I glance around the classroom. Yakuko is staring blankly at Masato. Elizabeth is once again immersed in conversation with her groupies. Masaki. I wave frantically in her direction, but she's too immersed in her phone to pay me any heed. You know how many days you've skipped track? 3? Wrong! The answer is too many. Hey look, I've been busy. Like hell you've been. Busy with what? Napping? Eating? Thinking? He's got a point. You disappoint me, man. Yeah, join the club. Damn it, just stop ditching! Well, I don't blame him. Rui strides into the classroom. She's hesitant when she sees Misaki, but shakes it off in a blink of an eye. What makes you say that, eh? Well, you know, all you talk about is track. Yama's probably tired of hearing it by now. But I don't just run. I can swim too, and do basketball. She ignores him, and then approaching Misaki. She ignores him and the approaching Misaki, and smiles gently at me. Don't worry, Mr. Ryota says you're not in any trouble. Mr. Ryota? Why would... Alright, Shoji, the fight. But that's not what's important right now. She has to save me from Masato. Say, Rui, don't you think it's awfully late? We should be... But Misaki rushes in front of me, reaching for Rui's hand. Rui, I need to speak to you about... Rui only steps back from both of us, staring blankly at Misaki. Why won't you listen? I told you the other day to leave me alone. It's you who isn't listening. She whips around one heel and marches out of the room. Holy shit. Ah, shack it. This too, it'll be a... This too, it'll deal great. This too, it'll deal great. I don't know what that means. Wait, what did you just... She flies past me and sprints out of the room, right on Rui's heels. Masato stares wordlessly at her back, mouth agape. That girl. Miyazaki wasn't... Miyazaki, she was talking... Street? Talking what? Nothing. Ain't nothing. Wait, did you understand her? Hang it! You're changing the... Hang it! You're changing the subject again, aren't you? What? Me? No. You gotta come back to track, man. I'll drag you there myself. Time to resort to drastic measures since I was ditched by everyone. Actually, where did Yahiko go? Huh. That's weird. Well, what's it gonna be? Oh, would you look at the time? I gotta go. Don't do it, man. Don't. And I promptly run for my life, lunging over desks and chairs and bowling down the hallway. GG. How to escape Masato 101. There's only one safe place from being bulldozed by his fury, one place that can be haven for a refugee. I slam my fist against the door, ignoring the bewildered stares of passing students. Mr. Ryota! Mr. Ryota, open up before I die! Oh, dag nabbit, kid. Why do you always have to interrupt me in the middle of a battle? Mr. Ryota, I'm getting chased down the hall. I don't give a fuck about your battle. Open the door, sit your ass back down, and continue playing your League of Legends. I don't mind. Think he plays League of Legends, or does he think more? What do you think? More of a, I don't know. I feel like a League kind of guy. Maybe, shit. Maybe Smite. Smite, maybe. Or maybe he's a Civ type of person, playing Civilization. I have Civ. I've not actually played Civ. I don't know how it works. Trying to think of any other games he might be playing. Anyway, maybe he's like God, what's the name of the game? Game of War, maybe? Like a Game of War, but like a computer type. Anyway, nevertheless, the door creaks open. I jump in and kick it shut, twisting the lock with what may or may not have been a little more than necessary, a little more force than necessary. Mr. Ryota is staring at me with eyebrows lifted and mouth agape, no doubt taking in my unkempt massive head and sweat beating on my forehead. First the fight, now running from someone. You just love trouble today, don't you? Probably more like trouble loves me. Oh, kid, important life lesson. Trouble only finds people who are looking for it. So basically, I deserve everything that's happened to me? I didn't say that. Just that sometimes people who want nothing more in life than to go through Just that sometimes people who want nothing more in life than to go through, do nothing significant and pass on in peace, well, they actually want a whole lot more. I don't understand. Well, then maybe you should talk about something else. I hesitantly take a seat and glance over my shoulder. No sign of the marvelous Masa. Since you're here, I guess we better have a proper session. Why are you being chased, hmm? Too popular with the girls? As if. It was Masato Kurgan. He loves track and I don't, so he's trying to change that. And I presume it's not working out so hot for you. Yeah, you could say that. You think Mr. Ryota's a smoker? I feel like he would probably be a bit of a smoker. If nothing else, maybe a stoner. Actually, it seems like Masato's always been on my case because of track, even the first time we met. Oh, flashback. Well, it was last year's club recruitment day. I remember hating that time. Well, to be fair, I hated everything, but especially club recruitment day. No matter how quiet and insignificant I tried to be, someone would always call me out every minute. They tried to get me to join language club, or music club, or art club, or even squirrel watching club. As you can imagine, by the time I met Masato, I wanted nothing to do with clubs, especially from someone who, frankly speaking, looked like the stereotypical idiot jock. Hey you! Well, contrary to popular belief, I actually did have some semblance for manners. So I stopped and turned to address the bothersome kid. Not interested. I expected some fake smile or even some pleading, but to my shock, this guy immediately pulled his fist back and socked me right in the face. Ow! What the hell? Don't give me that bull! I ain't even said anything yet. Awfully rude if you don't even give me a chance. You know what we call that? Uncivilized. I'm uncivilized? You're the one who just punched me. Ah, you big baby. It wasn't even a gentle tap. The terrible thing was that he looked completely serious about it. To be honest, I briefly entertained the thought that he was part of an abusive household or something. Of course, that guy that took my thought in silence for patience and steamed ahead. That's more like it. Name's Masato. Masato Kurgan. What's yours? Leaving. You're leaving? Yeah, right now. Call me rude, but I was at my breaking point. Getting a fist straight to the nose wasn't exactly welcoming. I might have admired this guy's courage and utter disregard for social niceties, but other than that, he bugged me. A lot. Oh, I see what you did there. But you can't leave. Not before you've joined track. Track? Hell yeah! Our club, man! It binds you for life, makes you sweat, gives you pain, stretches out your physical constitution till you think you're gonna die. If this guy thought he was doing a great sales pitch, he had a long ways to go. My trash can's that way now. Instead of usually it's on this side. Look at Brucey over here, just chilling. I like Brucey. And a little bit farther. There we go. Yeah, not interested. That ain't all, man. Track could save your life, just like it saved mine. Saved his life? Yeah, right. Good for you. Ain't it? Track's literally a lifesaver, man. Thanks, but no thanks. Hey, where you going? I'm just getting to the best part. I cried on the inside, but patiently nodded my head. If you get good enough, you can get a scholarship. This place don't come cheap, you know. Even a little amount would help your parents. Things were beginning to make sense. Is that why you're in track? Come to think of it, you still haven't told me your name. Interestingly enough, I found I was actually beginning to like this guy. At least he wasn't superficial like everyone else. If anything, he was the opposite. He wore his heart on his sleeve. Besides, I needed something to do while Rui was in drama. What else was I gonna do? Art? Dance? Squirrel watching? Yeah, I'm Yama. Yama Isamoto. Huh? What kind of name is that? My parents like poetry. No way! Oh gosh, he was probably gonna rant about how poetry and literature is a waste of time. Who's their favorite? Matsuo Basho? Kobayashi Issa? Or maybe foreign guys like Edgar Allan Poe or William Shakespeare? What the? You like poetry? Of course I do. Poetry is the manliest way to cry. Not saying anything. This guy only got stranger. What about literature? Manliest way to hate people. Science? Manliest way to take stuff apart. Math? Manliest way to put stuff together. History? Manliest way to predict the future. By any chance, what are your grades? Average of 99. No way. The highest class average I've ever had was a 92. This guy was smarter than me? I don't understand you at all. It's okay. You don't need to. You just gotta join track. On second thought, I didn't think he was smarter. He just studied harder. Still, it took guts and passion and everything I didn't have. Okay, I'll try it out, but only for a little bit. Ha! I knew you'd come around. Come on, let's get to track. Already? Don't you have other unfortunate souls to recruit? Nah, the others will take care of them. Let's go! That was how I met Masato. I was never really a regular track member, but for some reason he always wanted me to be. Even now, I don't really understand why. Probably just wants to help he probably just wants to help people become their best. Then why would he pick me? There's so many people who would love track and running and competitions and all that crap. Isn't that the whole point of picking you? Because I'm useless, so turning me into somebody useful means a lot? Nah, because you're a challenge. You know, that doesn't exactly make me feel any better. Why not? You should feel very, very loved. Oh, I do. A bit too loved. Masato probably sees you like a little cousin or younger brother. Don't you know that? What? Masato does? Why would he do that? You know, kid, sometimes there's just nice people in the world and you shouldn't question it. And sometimes there's an ulterior motive. Sometimes there's a... Dalen.exe is restarting. Please wait. And sometimes there are ulterior motives behind everything. Masato Kurigane? Ulterior motives? Well, that's true, I guess. It's not like Masato would fake anything. But it still doesn't make any sense. Why would he choose me, a random stranger, as his little brother? To be honest, I've usually thought of Masato as my little brother since he's, you know, kind of obtuse and not cynical and embittered by the world. Something like that. A kind of innocence. Maybe you shouldn't be asking why your friends love you, Yama. Maybe you should be looking for ways to return that love instead of looking for ways to deserve it. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. I sounded really cool, didn't I? I'm leaving. Aw, come on. That was good. Admit it. I admit it. I'm still leaving. He only chuckles and slaps a hand on my shoulder. Have a good day, kid. I only nod wordlessly in response as I step out of his office. My throat almost feels clogged, as if I had just heard something that I really, really needed to hear. Huh. Maybe these meetings really are a good thing. Wah! Move those legs, you filthy maggots! Move them! Double time! What the heck? Wrong person. I thought it was Masato. I peer around, searching for the source of the noise, and find Akira racing around the entrance, a large, lumpy backpack slung over her shoulders. Oh, Sarge! Pretty please, I've been running 6 miles. I swear I'm gonna collapse. Wait, what? Who the hell was that? Oh, Akira's... Oh, God, she's weird. Okay. I shouldn't be able to hear you over the sound of your tears, Private. Hop to it. Akira? I gingerly step in front of her and wave to catch her attention. She grinds to a halt and tilting her head curiously at me. What are you doing here? I'm here for drama club, of course. But no one else is here. I'm doing an immersion exercise, Leot. An immersion exercise? Yep, I need to act half dead from a boot camp, so I'm gonna run a mile around the school with this backpack. A mile? But that backpack looks as big as her. Boot camps? Is that why you're calling me Lieutenant? I'm gonna guess that's just supposed to be Lieutenant. Nah, I'm calling you Leah because it's short for Lieutenant. Yeah. Well, darn my socks, don't you catch on fast. Usually her antics would annoy me, but for some reason it's soothing right now. Like white noise in a messy world. Do you usually do things this intense for drama? Oh no, this is easy. You should have seen what I had to do yesterday. I was a sadistic serial killer. Hidden that. What did you do that for? I ate a bunch of cereal. What did you do for that? That's what it said. Da-da-da. I'm not sure whether to feel relieved or exasperated. Say, Luke, if you don't have anything to do right now, why don't you join us? We're doing some exercises that you might like. What makes you think I'll like them? From what Rui says. What exactly does she say? That you'll like the exercises? That's cyclical logic. On the contrary, it has nothing to do with bikes. Well, technically I don't have anything to do. Wait, Rui will be there? Da-da-da. I thought that a silent Akira would be a blessing, but this is unsettling. Rui has something to do today. But if you come tomorrow, you can watch her bedazzle the crowd. Tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? Oh, is it? You don't know what day of the week it is. It's Tuesday for my character. And in my defense, there's a half day on Saturdays. Just no clubs, which is kind of important. She doesn't seem to hear me. Instead, she just checks her phone for the time. Hey, boot camp is ending. What about your mile? Let's go! She reaches out and grabs my wrist, but suddenly lets go as if it's a burning iron. I send a questioning look at her, but she only shrugs it off. Come, Luke. Adventure awaits! Without any further explanation, she marches into the classroom building. Well, this should be interesting. Akira leads me to classroom 3A, where a dozen students are seated in a ring looking expectantly at Akira. One of the girls immediately leaps to her feet. I recognize her as the drama club president. Where have you been, maggot? You know how late it is? Immediately, Akira stumbles forward as if she's dead exhausted, the backpack sliding from her shoulders and crashing to the ground. Sorry, sir. I took a detour. A detour? What kind of detour can you take on a training course? Akira? Is she Akira right now? Points a tremulous finger in my direction. He jumped on me, sir, out of nowhere. I don't even know how he got here. All eyes swivel to me, waiting to see how I handle the sudden development. They're probably expecting me to dodge, to freeze, or just to stare at them. Like they're a bunch of weirdos. Heck, I'm expecting me to do something along those lines. But instead, sheer instinct takes over. Years of make-believe with Rui molds me into what is needed at this moment. A foreign spy who haplessly stumbled onto a military operation. Sorry, I'm a tourist. Lost my way. I suddenly move my hand to my hip where my imaginary gun holster lies. Surprisingly, the club president is perceptive enough to catch it. He's a spy! Right as I pretend to whip out my gun, Akira tackles my arm, throwing me to the ground. I feel a shot of pain run up my shoulder, ripping a very real cry of agony from my throat. Akira proceeds to lock my arms behind my back, leaning over until her mouth is next to my ear. Drop the gun! Through the haze of pain, I manage to hold my character together. Akira nudges my arm gentler this time, and I yell, opening my fingers in a releasing motion. Sir, what should I do? The club president kneels down, looking me straight in the eye. I tilt my head upwards, staring as challengingly as I possibly can. Nice one. Strangers don't pick up so easily. The entire room relaxes as she sits before me, bowing her head slightly. Welcome to the drama club. I'm the club president. Sorry you came in on a pretty hectic day. No, it was interesting. Akira, could you let go of me? Akira suddenly squeaks, lunging away from me. An uncharacteristic blush crawls to her cheeks as she vainly attempts to cover her face with her hands. It's really unusual for her, but kinda cute. Almost reminds me of Rui. I suppose they've rubbed off on each other at this point. Quickly disregarding these thoughts, I focus back on my physical status at the moment, and move my arm back to its regular position. It twinges painfully. I can't hide a wince, which the club president immediately notices. Oh gosh, are you okay? I test my arm for a moment, but the pain subsided. Probably just overstretched slightly. Nah, I should be fine. It's nothing compared to what Mickey's made me do before. Did I hurt you? I'm really sorry, Yama. It's really fine. Are you sure? It's unsettling to see Akira so meek. I glance at the club president and raise an eyebrow. She seems to understand. Well, let's try some basic exercise before our next scenario. Stanislavski's magic if, everyone. The rest of the club time is spent playing around with different objects, pretending that pencils are bombs, chairs are clouds, and desks are shields. It's amazingly refreshing. I'd almost forgotten how fun it was to just put everything aside and enter a completely different world. Oh yeah. Even when the club's been dismissed, I feel a sense of lightness that I haven't felt in a long time. Hey, Luke! Akira pops up next to me, now returned to her cheery self. Hey, where are you headed? Home. Don't you live in the dorms? I live in the world, therefore anywhere I go is my home. Bizarre as always, the only thing I've grown to understand about this girl is that I'll never understand her. Fair play. Right. Seriously, where are you going? Come to think of it, I have no clue what I'm doing here. Catch you later, Luke. See you later. Without any further explanation, she skips away. I shrug off my confusion, accepting it as the norm when one speaks with Akira, and head back to my apartment. Except something stops me at the entrance. By this time, all the students are living it up down in town, or doing nobody knows what in the school rec center. Nobody just hangs around at the entrance. For most, the barred gates and curfew are just another sign of restrictions instituted by helicopter parents. But beneath the shade of a tree in a far corner, I catch sight of two figures facing each other with hands on hips. I inch forward. The figures are none other than Misaki and Rui, immersed in conversation. Must you keep ignoring me, Rui? Because you've been gone for 4 years, Misaki. We didn't know where you went or why you had to leave. All these years, Yama and I were left in the dark. For all we know, you could have been dead. How can you expect us to act like you never left? I still don't understand how Yama can be so forgiving after he almost... You know what? I'm tired of this. Just don't speak to me ever again, Misaki. She turns to stalk off, but Misaki grabs her by the wrist in a blink of an eye. I'm not letting you walk away again, damn it! Do you believe I wanted to leave Seto to move to District 6 with my mother, who, by the way, doesn't even deserve to be called my mother? What I don't understand is why you're blaming me for something I couldn't control. Misaki's sudden outburst seemed to catch Rui off guard. District 6 doesn't deserve to be called my mother. Just what happened to Misaki after she left Seto? Misaki, you're hurting my wrist. Oh, I'm sorry, Rui, I shouldn't have... The two girls seem to avoid each other's gazes for an awkward moment. Rui is first to speak, her voice coming out in barely a whisper. Half a year after you left, we gave up. We thought you'd never contact us again. I was okay, but Yama, he thought that someone had left him. Again. Forever. Whoa! Pause! Past Dalen, pause on that. Comments! It looked like a family photo from my current point of view, but future Dalen, talk. Okay, I literally just recorded one of these, but I have to record a second one. You guys didn't see it, obviously, so this is the first one you guys see, but it is a family photo, and it's weird because it's me at the very, very bottom. That's me as a small child, and then Rui seems to be taller than me in this picture, I'm guessing, unless I have a sister that they're not talking about, and then mom and dad. That's what my final guess is. I had another guess that wasn't sure, but that's probably what I feel like. That's probably closer to the truth. Is it's me, and it's me at the very youngest, either an older sister or Rui, who acted like an older sister to me, even though she is technically younger than me, and I think I outgrew her, but that's puberty. Why not? That makes sense. And then mom and dad, the ones that probably own the restaurant. That's my guess. And again, this is all a guess because I'm not too sure. But yeah, present Dalen, take it. Holy shit. Again, it looked like a family photo of me, possibly parents and Rui, but it was really, obviously it was a negative, so I don't know what it was. But that's current Dalen. Past Dalen already talked about it. I don't know what he said. I probably agree. He locked himself in his room, pulled himself into his shell. I couldn't reach him. No one could. He didn't trust any of us to stay. Then I dropped by his house one day, and the medicine cabinet was open, and this huge bottle was gone. Oh my god, I really tried to overdose. You mean? Yeah. You know how hands off his parents have always been. The ambulance barely made it in time. They had to start pumping him on site. That's how bad it was. Was it really that bad? So understand why I was so upset. I had no idea. Rui. Just where were you, Mickey? Why? Why couldn't you have just... Rui breaks off and covers her hands and covers her face with her hands. Misaki's expression crumples. She hesitantly reaches towards Rui. Rui promptly kicks her in the shin. Tell me, Mickey, why'd you take so long? Ow! Why weren't you there for Yama? Why weren't you there for me? I missed you. Are they gonna become friends again? Rui! And now they're draped against each other, sobbing like newborn children. What just happened? Before I inch away. So it got pretty real. Apparently when I was younger, I fucking tried to OD. Barely got saved, and that's why Rui hates Misaki right now. Misaki didn't come back and left me in a state like that. Like, that's kind of fucked. How much of that is in a record? Does Mr. Ryota know that? Is that a thing that's on a record somewhere? You'd think something like that would be on a record, but like, would Mr. Ryota know that? I guess technically speaking, he wouldn't. But at the same time, you'd feel like that would be put into some sort of anyway. I don't know. Does this mean that they're going to become friends, though? Because I'm totally down with Misaki and Rui becoming friends and not hating each other. That'd be grand. Anyway, I quietly inch away from the scene, feeling the sudden sense that they need privacy. At least they made up, well, from the looks of it. It almost seems like Rui was just really overwhelmed from keeping secrets. My memory of that time is very faint, but hers must be clear. Her terror, her anguish, when she stumbled on me, must have been festering inside of her after all these years, because mentioning anything could have sent me over the brink. She always had to fake smiles, put me first, pick me up when I had fallen down. Something itches in the back of my mind. A weird kind of dizziness threatens to overcome me. I force it back until I can become more detached. I really, really don't want to think about that time, but thankfully, I can suppress it for now. But Rui, she was never one to hide away from her feelings. She faced that pain full force. Little wonder that seeing Mickey again had brought all that to the surface. And Mickey? She said she had moved to District 6 with Satomi. Something she hadn't told me when I first saw her 2 days ago. Why would she resent her mother so passionately? Also, why would they move to District 6, the most poverty-stricken area of Visamu? It certainly makes me curious, but then again, it's really none of my business. At least she and Rui are friends again, so maybe now the three of us can go back to the way we were? I hope so. I can't hide a smile as long as I lounge against my couch after whipping up some dinner, replaying the exchange in my head. I'm glad that they've made up. Really glad. Somehow, it feels like a big burden has been lifted off of me, even though I technically had nothing to do with the argument. And now, I'm getting all sappy. Let's see, what should I do tonight? Work on homework with someone? Or watch Grover Mecker? Now, I just realized that there's a book in the back that says goats. Nonetheless, now, there's always the option of watching Grover Mecker. But I honestly don't care about Grover Mecker. I really do care about being able to do homework with someone, because we all know that's an interaction. Let's be honest here. We know it's an interaction that we want to see. If you guys want to see more Grover Mecker stuff, let me know, but I'm going to work on the homework with someone, because the interaction between people is what really makes this an interesting novel. So, as hilarious as watching Grover Mecker videos are, we're going to work on homework with someone. Guess I should actually study. Not that I'd ever do it alone. If I'm going to be miserable, I might as well be miserable with someone. We can do English with Elizabeth, Japanese with Rui, math with Masato, moral studies with Yahiko, science with Masaki, social studies with Akira. I'm super torn between English with Elizabeth, Japanese with Rui, and social studies with Akira, and science with Misaki. Those are the four I really want. So we're gonna do a thing. We have two types of nanodice that can help with this. We've got the 4 and the 6. So what we're gonna do is roll both the 4 and the 6. Depending on how I'm feeling about it, we may or may not actually follow through if it lands on one of these two, which would be 3 and 4. And if I don't like how it's going with 3 or 4, if it lands on a 3 or a 4, maybe I'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4 instead and see how that works. So we'll roll and we'll see what we get. Japanese with Rui. It's weird because, like, as I do this more, I'm like, I don't want to do that one. Social studies with Akira. You know what? Let's do social studies with Akira. No. I want to keep... There's so many characters to choose from that I really want to get to know better. I guess that's probably the best way I should do it, is figure out which character I want to know better about, know more about. Who have we talked to today? We talked a little bit to Elizabeth. We talked to Akira, obviously. In English, we talked to Elizabeth, we talked to Akira. And Rui and Masaki both had a big part. Part of me wants to understand Akira, part of me wants to understand more about Elizabeth. But then, of course, I want to deepen the bonds between Rui and Masaki. And I do kind of want to know more about Masaki. Damn it, these dice are just not helping me right now. That's how good this storytelling is, that I really don't know who I want to figure out more about. Alright. My nano dice is saying go to 1, so we're gonna do English with Elizabeth. Fuck with Elizabeth a little bit more. I want to know more about her, so let's go with that. Heh, this will be fun. So we're gonna reach out to Elizabeth. Da-da-da. What? A good evening to you, old sport. What is it? I'm studying the Queen's English, you see. Need a bit of practice with it. Fucking ass bitch dick! Her English is so smooth and rapid fire that I can't even pick anything out. Sure. You have no clue what I just said, don't you? This doesn't seem very fair. I can't even insult you in Japanese. Then learn another language, you ass! She might as well be speaking gibberish if she wants to play it that way. I really feel like having some coffee right now. Who do I know who makes really good coffee? You wouldn't dare. What does coffee have anything to do with you? I can't believe you. The sheer indignance in her tone catches me off guard. I can't help but laugh. Surprisingly, Elizabeth ends up chuckling. You're so strange. You're one to talk. Just look at your name. Your name is weird too. Not as weird as yours. Okay, this is getting off topic. You wanted to practice your English? Your name is English, isn't it? Elizabeth? 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 Don't say my name like that. Why not? Because you can't pronounce it properly. Well, guess why I'm calling you. I do so want to learn English, old chap. T sounds oh so scrumptious. What say you to 11 C's? 11 C's? Why, thank you, arse. Oh. I know what arse means. Surprisingly, Elizabeth giggles an unusually pretty giggle. Just what is going on in her head? Oh, come on, Mum. And just as suddenly, she falls silent. Hello? Da-da-da-da. Bye. What? That was abrupt. Maybe I accidentally said some vulgar curse word? No, she'd just make fun of me. Just when I think that maybe, just maybe, we might be able to get along, this girl proves otherwise. Maybe I should just stop trying. The sudden ring of my phone breaks me out of my thoughts. I better answer this one. Shigure! Here comes the mysteries. Shigure. Ah, Ishiyama. A most intriguing circumstance has transpired and necessitates immediate reagency. I'm not going on another little goose chase, if that's what you mean. Oh, I aver. This is far more exigency and mere preliminary than mere preliminary. Despite myself, I'm intrigued. And what would that be? The police have come to an impasse and exact coadjuacy for the recent disappearances within Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy. Are you... God damn it. Are you conversant with the cases? I ruefully think back to the events of this morning. Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the recent disappearances. Well, I would hope so. I should hope so, given that you attend the very institution. At any rate, you must meet me at the school tomorrow morning. We are scouring every last inch of that campus, even if it requires neglecting sleep. With luck, a crucial piece of evidence may be uncovered. Disappearances, neglecting sleep, evidence, what's going on? So we're searching the academy for a lead on the recent disappearances? That is to what I previously averted. Are you deaf or merely inproficient? of fathoming such elementary conceptualizations with your twaddly intellectuality. There goes the canon of verbal abuse. I'm honestly impressed I can't match her in that regard. But no one disturbs my sleep. No one. And you're expecting me to pull an all-nighter for this? Well, naturally. The case demands it. I'm not doing that. Get some other people to help. On the contrary, as I have no qualms with neglecting sleep, you should be the one recruiting. Gathering your accomplices as you deem necessary, Ishiyama, and meet me by the school gates at 8 a.m. sharp. But isn't that illegal to share confidential case information with civilians? It ought to be felonious to possess such infinitesimal acumen, yet you are not incarcerated. That doesn't answer my question. Should you choose to go alone, know that you will be spending the entirety of your day in the investigation. I'm not even getting paid! If you really don't want to do it, you don't have to. But we both know that you're already too curious for that. What's really unfair is that she's actually right. Sometimes I wish that she was oblivious and stupid, but then again, she wouldn't be Shigure. Guess I have a lot of calls to make. When I arrive at the academy the next morning, I find a fairly sizable group of people gathered by the gate. None of them looking particularly happy with me. I have the time. I'm going for another day. Well, look who actually showed up. Elizabeth's definitely the angriest. I probably shouldn't have pulled the blackmail card to get her here, but at the same time, I need as many people as I can get. You thought I wouldn't? Honestly, no. I was the guy who organized this. Why wouldn't I show up? Once an irresponsible person, always an irresponsible person. Would you like some pepper with that salt? I'm just telling him how to improve. Sure you are. You haven't said a single constructive thing. Does he deserve it? He doesn't bloody take anything seriously. Fuck it. I'm done. She's getting a British accent, damn it. Does he deserve it? He doesn't bloody take anything seriously. Has he ever excelled? Ever? Is this still about that stupid project from last year? It wasn't stupid. Clearly you don't have the brains to understand. Hey, lay off her! Guys, can't we just... Stay out of things, Yahiko. Akira's kinda like, why the fuck am I here? Look, Elizabeth, I've tried to just ignore you. I thought you'd improved because Yama stopped talking about you. But you're too stubborn to think you might be wrong. You know nothing about me. Stop shooting off your mouth like an ignorant... You come here and say that to me. Yavas need the little... God damn it, what is she saying? Yavas need the loose for y'all spill 'em. Can done what you done, eh? For a second, I find myself double-checking whether that was indeed Masaki Kazuha. If that was indeed Masaki Kazuha who just spoke. Judging from the fact that everyone else looks just as bewildered as I am, the answer is resounding yes. The commotion immediately comes to a halt. Masato seemingly to be the only person who actually registered what Masaki just said. She's right. Ain't no use us arguing. Well, alright then. Guess that's one way to diffuse an angry Masato. What makes it a little scary was how easily Masaki could do so. Elizabeth and Rui turn away in a huff, but they stay silent. I'm not completely sure whether it's out of respect for Masaki or if they simply don't have the energy to keep arguing. Well, this is getting off to a great start. It appears you acquired a respectable quantity of potential peons after all, Ishiyama. And now Shigure is here, which will either fix everything or make matters much worse. I'm betting on the latter. TBH. Wait, isn't that... Ari, what are you doing here? You! I elbow him in the ribs to shut him up. He seems to understand. She's with me, obviously. I, on the other hand, have my own inquiry. By what means have you acquainted yourself with Ari Hiragi? How do I know her? Same school, remember? And yet you address her with some similitude of fellowship. So do you. How do you know her? I hold no obligation to acknowledge queries impelled by a merely competent plebeian. With this kind of affirmation of my hard efforts, she moves into the group, examining each person from head to toe. They only stare back, unsure of how to react. Intriguing. Oh, I see. What are you doing? Shigure only returns to the center of the group without another word. My name is Shigure Inamoto. I'm a freelance detective. Ain't you kinda young for that? I am 26 years of age, you tedious imbecile, and legally certified. She flashes her badge at Masato, who only shrugs. You're 26? Yes. Pray keeping yourself from any further productive disputions. After a moment of silence, during which she takes a deep breath with Ari comfortably patting her back, she seems to regain control. You have been summoned on account of an extremely important affair. As you might expect, I cannot divulge details due to confidential nature of the case. However, I can tell you the following. We are searching for any information that may be related to the recent disappearances of Academy students. You must be meticulous, you must be witty, you must be adaptable, and above all, you must stay alive. Her words carry unusual dramatic weight. A quick glance around the area confirms my suspicions. Every person is leaning towards Shigure and with a glimmer of excitement in their eyes. Even Elizabeth seems interested. Heck, I'm looking forward to this. Turns out that Shigure can be inspiring when she really wants to. Investigate all areas of the school until noon, where we shall reconvene at the garden rooftop to debrief. I can't say debrief. Leave no stone unturned. The lives of the innocent citizens lie in our hands. 3, 2, 1. Break. Every person in the group tears off in a different direction. Only Ari, Rui, and Shigure remain. Rui shuffles close to Shigure with a shy smile. I'm sorry, but would it be okay if I tagged along with you? Being a detective just sounds so cool. But, of course, only if that's okay with you and Ari. I noticed Shigure's chest puff up slightly like a proud veteran aiming to impress the newbies. Rui probably scores extra points by including Ari. Well, if you insist, Ari. Ari glances from Rui to Shigure and back to the edge of her brow. Furrowing slightly, Shigure, noting her hesitation, tries a comforting smile. Remember. Ari stares vacant. That was interesting. I'll come back to that. Ari stares vacantly at Shigure for a long moment, then nods, the corners of her lips rising just slightly. It's settled. What's your name? Rui. I'm Rui. Rui Hayata. We must depart at once, Rui. Enlightenment awaits. Okay, so I'm just gonna play back just for a second, but there was a moment where Ari looked to Shigure and then looked back, like you actually physically saw her eyes go back and forth. If I can figure out how to do it with my fantastic editing skills, I'll play it back here right now so you guys can see it. But yeah, I just thought that was a very interesting little play. So anyway, and she promptly dashes away, Rui on her heels. Ari briefly glances in my direction as she follows them out. I spend an idle moment relishing the fresh air against my face and the glorious serenity of silence. Then I straighten my shoulders and evaluate my surroundings, ready to start my investigation. Guess I'll start at the entrance. The offices lie near the school entrance. Maybe I could glean something from there. The question is, how can I legally obtain confidential information without a license? Access to your informational database. I presume we are in agreement? Well, I guess I found my license. I should have expected Shigure to come here. The faculty office does, after all, hold the official records. Anything from other locations would be mainly heresy. Certainly, Miss Emoto. Please wait a moment while I prepare the database. As the secretary withdraws into her office, Shigure turns to Rui, pushing her glasses up to the bridge of her nose. Sadly, there is little glamour in our line of work. Much of it is limited to scouring through paperwork. Really? Yes, however, as our talents are better spent on proper investigation, we often delegate such tasks to menial workers. Suddenly her arms shoot out and pulls me by my shoulders. Exhibit A. Yama, what are you doing here? He shall, of course, be our manual labor. Wait, what? Oh, do detectives usually have those? Shigure straightens ever so slightly, clearly pleased by Rui's interest. But of course. Is it not a staple in mystery literature? The erstwhile sidekick diligently records the many escapades of the capable detective. Wow, being a detective sounds so interesting! But that's literature. Ah, she is back. Just then, the secretary conveniently pops out of the offices and slips a tablet into Shigure's hands. The system is digitized as per standard regulations, Miss Emoto. Her eyes land on us. However, due to the confidential nature of this information, I cannot allow these students to... Come closer. Pardon? Come closer. The secretary glances around before inching forward, leaning down to meet Shigure's height. Shigure whispers something furiously into her ear, something that makes her eyes widen in shock. Well, if that's the case, then I suppose. Good. Off you go. I shall return this after it has been properly searched. The secretary obediently scurries off. Rui grins in clear admiration. That was incredible! So it was. What did you tell her? She agreed awfully fast. Why, I simply notified her that the three of you were undercover agents. And that's why you acted like it was a huge secret? Precisely. I stated that your identities must not be blown for the sake of the nation. That's really clever. That good pupil is why it is vitally important to practice one's own prowess with language. Manipulation is key to obtaining information. That doesn't sound very moral. At any rate, we must proceed. Evidence awaits. She dramatically activates the tablet, flipping through the Academy database. And the amount of pure information it holds is frankly disturbing. For each student, they not only have basic information, but details filtered from any linked social media accounts. Well, protege, would you like to take a look? I guess if you really... Yes! Rui bolts in front of me, snatching the tablet out of my hand. She eagerly flicks through the tablet as Shigure looks on with a proud smile. Haven't I been working for Shigure for, what, 3 days now? And Rui just met Shigure today? Wait, why do I care? I'd be free if she took my job. No more random assignments, no more verbal abuse. It would be heavenly. Right? Rui suddenly leaps away from the tablet, startling me out of my thoughts. Oh gosh, I did not need to know that about Masato. What? Nothing. Nothing. I attempt to peer over her shoulder for a closer look, but Shigure promptly swipes the tablet. A good effort, protege, but you must remember to prioritize the evidence above all else. Had you lost your grip on the tablet, our lead would have been obliterated. Eek! I didn't think of that! It is no big problem, but we must utilize the precious time we have been granted. She begins skimming through the tablet, eyes roving rapidly across the glass surface as she takes in every morsel of information. Yes, oh, I see. What is it? We have one particularly telling detail, something that should be addressed before we move on. What? Ishiyama. She flings the tablet unceremoniously in my direction. I'm barely able to catch it in time. So much for prioritizing evidence above all else. Summarize. Why me? Because you're dragging the group down with your uselessness. But summarize. Bitch! Sir, yes, sir. I dourly scan over the tablet as she hovers over my shoulder, or attempts to, except for her considerable lack of height. Well, I wave away her demands, steadily immersing myself with data. Apparently, there's already been 3 official disappearances. The first was verified 6 days ago, the second was verified 4 days ago, and the third was verified just yesterday. Midori Maino, second year, missing for 8 days. Toma Hayashi, first year, missing for 5 days. Akane Tsukino, second year, missing for 2 days. Wait, Akane? Why does that name sound familiar? Midori Mano, Tomo Yahashi, Akane Tsukino. Ishiyama, pray, give us something of marginal benefit before swine take to the air. Fucking hell, I hate her. Before swine take to the air? That is brilliant, and I hate her for that. Yeah. I continue skimming. There doesn't seem to be much connection with the student years, nor their hobbies, grades, or anything really. Guess I should start with the basics and work my way up. Maybe I'll find something. All 3 students are children of wealthy families. Irrelevant, 86% of the academy students' population belong to families with an income bracket over 225 million yen. They also all live on campus at the dorms, as the majority of the faculty. As does the majority of the academy, faculty included. But here's the weird thing. Even during school break, which was when the first victim, Midori Manu, disappeared, the academy enforces curfews to protect both its students and property. The curfew is something like 11:30 p.m., right, Rui? Yeah. So on-campus students have this curfew at 11:30. All the victims lived on campus, so they would have had to register for curfew. But according to those records, they all disappeared at night, even after registered for curfew. No one's supposed to be able to get in and out after curfew. Just so. Thus, Ishiyama, we have a bit of a quandary on our hands. How did 3 students manage to leave during a time when they could not possibly do so? Leaving after academy curfew. If they wanted to stay out all night, why log themselves in at all? Oops. Why not just stay out the whole day? If only one student had left after curfew, I could easily wave it off as an exception. Maybe they didn't want to get in trouble, but they really wanted to party or drink or do whatever academy students do. Maybe they had friends to help them out. But 3 in such a short time? Furthermore, it's 3 people who don't seem to have any strong relationship with each other. Excuse me, Miss Inomoto. The secretary pops out of nowhere looking very stern over her thin-rimmed spectacles. Ah, wait a moment. I can't. I'm afraid I verified the identities of these students with the police headquarters, and they have no record of undercover agents at this location. Well, they would hardly divulge that degree of intelligence to a mere layperson. They also warned me of your previous stunts. Fuck. Da-da-da-da. Come investigate on your own, Miss Yamamoto. I cannot reveal confidential information to ordinary students. She promptly whisks the tablet out of my hand and strides back into the office. Shigure students in a silence for a long, long moment. Rui only tugs at her sleeve with a penitent expression. I'm sorry, Shigure, we shouldn't have come. Nonsense. This is simply a perfect demonstration of faults of our bureaucracy. What did we learn from those records? Nothing. Nothing that was not already publicly accessible. Imbeciles. Shigure. Ari's simple call seems to mollify Shigure. Well, at the very least, I suppose we discovered some fairly important information. Primarily the fact that each student logged in for curfew before they curiously vanished. That's a good start, at least. Sadly, not significant enough. Then how do you propose we continue? Well, thankfully, I anticipated that such an event might occur and made significant compensations. Come, Ari, Rui, Ishiyama. Renewed, she marches up the stairs to the 2nd floor. I've got a really bad feeling about this. Shigure hovers around in the hallway before blasting into classroom 2B, hands sweeping in an overly exaggerated gesture. Stop the presses! Rui's eyes lighten up at the display of histrionics. She barges in right behind Shigure, pointing dramatically into the distance. We have arrived! All eyes land on the peculiar sight. I try to stick to the shadows before I'm dragged into the insane antics. What kind of backup plan is this? Who are you? The question is not who I am, but rather, who am I to you? Isn't that the same thing? Wrong. To you, I am superior. To you, I am omniscient. To you, I am your master. To you, I am the law. To you, we are the truth. What is this? A comedy duo? Maybe it's some kind of advanced intimidation tactic. The teacher certainly looks frightened enough. Either that or concerned at their mental health. Really? Shigure. Team Logic solving crimes at the speed of light. Oh my fucking god. They did not just pull it. They just pulled a Pokemon reference. Can we send this shit blasting off again? Please? Fuck off. Anyway. My shit. I don't have enough water for this bullshit. Alright. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Oh, that's right. Don't look at me. I don't know these people. Get back to your classes before I report you for truancy. Shigure becomes very, very still and her hands curl into fists. Here we go again. I am not another I don't even know how to say that. I am a legitimate freelance detective, 26 years of age, officially licensed, and I am here on matters of extreme import. The teacher's eyes swirl at her excessively large vocabulary. As a result, there's no resistance when Shigure takes the podium, addressing the class students like a president at her inaugural address. Denizens of this city, Isamu, your cooperation is required for a situation most desire. For more information, I refer you to our head of public relations, Ari Hiraga. She nods her head at Ari, who after a moment of staring wordlessly at the podium, steps to the center of the classroom. Maybe despite her introverted tendencies, she's a really good speaker. At the very least, she can't be worse than Shigure. Are any of you murderers? Never mind, she can be worse than Shigure. Way worse. What kind of question is that? Are we in trouble? They're wasting our time. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. I need to get us out of here before we're exposed for disruption. What can I do? Huh. It seems that even the simple question has eluded their tiny brains. Try something different, Ari. Have any of you seen any strange events recently? I think we're witnessing a strange event right now. Fucking damn it. God damn. And someone speaks. Quickly, make your statement. Nothing. I just saw something outside. Ah, of course. The old bait and switch. That'll get them to leave in a hurry. Outside? Quick, after them. Chase the cab! As they bolt into the hallway, Ari pulls out her phone and taps idly on its surface. Within a few seconds, a police siren is playing from its speakers. Quick, after them. She snappily walks away, siren still resounding from her phone. All eyes fall onto me. The teacher only folds his arms, staring at me with a single raised eyebrow. What was that all about? I'd better make a run for it. I promptly sprint out of the classroom, taking random turns until I finally feel safe. Well, I'm not sure where they went, but it's already time to rendezvous. I guess I better head to the roof. Within a few minutes, everyone's gathered on the rooftop. This is a fantastic scenery. No wonder everyone here is paid their parents are paid like 25 million yen. It's fucking ridiculous. You see this shit? That's fucking crazy. I take stock of the unfortunate Rui, Shigure, and Ari seem disappointed. Yahiko and Elizabeth seem tired. Misaki, Akira seem to be unchanged, and Masato looks like he's on the brink of death. Despite the idiocies of the bureaucracy, it appears that a crucial piece of information did surface. That the students all disappeared after curfew. That all the students disappeared after curfew? Yes. You may elaborate further, Ishiyama. I glance around, but no one else seems willing to talk. Not even Rui, who was excited to play detective. Well, basically, each of the students logged in for 11:30 p.m. curfew in their rooms, but by all intents and purposes, they should have rendered them safe. And if they're allowed to leave the dorm building, They have to stay on campus, and it's not like anyone else can get in with the security parameters around the building. So we have something strange on our hands since they disappeared when they shouldn't be able to. Well, as I decided our next course of action, I recommend that each of you obtain your desired nourishment. Dismissed. She plops down on a nearby bench, digging through her satchel. Ari settles next to her, pulling a peach out of her bag. You and this fucking peach, what the hell? The others take various places around the rooftop greenhouse, retrieving lunchboxes from their bags. I notice Yahiko slide into a bench next to Masaki. Elizabeth sits opposite at Shigure, alone. Akira whips out Annette Dion Hellison the 14th. I knew that. And lays her on the floor. When Ryu and Masato attempt to sit on her, Akira gestures frantically at Rui. Oh, yeah. Rui quickly makes her way to me, extending a lunchbox with two hands. Hey, you didn't bring any food, right? I made an extra. You can have it if you want. You made enough food to fill an extra lunchbox. I accidentally made a lot more than expected, okay? Just take it. I can only stare at the lunchbox, my mind racing ahead of me. Should I? I'd rather not hurt her feelings, but isn't accepting homemade food from someone synonymous with accepting their feelings? I glance at Akira for help, but she's pointedly looking away from us. Maybe she wants to give us privacy. Take it before my arms fall off, idiot. That's the break for me. I'm comfortable enough to accept the lunchbox. Thanks. No problem. She suddenly dashes back to Annette Dion Hellison the 14th, leaving me alone with the lunchbox. I glance inside. Delicious eggs are neatly rolled and topped with sweet seaweed. Set in an aesthetic bouquet beside a bed of rice. The rice is shaped into a lantern decorated with lettuce, carrots, and cucumbers. It looked unbelievably delicious, but just when I'm about to dig in, some commotion catches my attention. So, what's it like being in Lotus Modeling? Do you live an extravagant life with servants who wait on your beck and call? I wouldn't say extravagant, but it's fun. You get to meet so many new people, visit so many new places, try so many new things. It's a great experience. Although it can be really demanding sometimes. Demanding? How? It's a competitive business, so it requires a lot of commitment. That's why I'm usually absent from class. And schools allow that? Surprisingly, my grades aren't being affected, so I suppose they don't see it as a problem. Do you think that Lotus would have an opening for the great Yahiko Akari? I highly doubt that his grades would allow him to work as a model. You're handsome, so I don't see why not. Did she just call Yahiko handsome? I admit he's not bad looking, but I did not expect her to be so blunt about it. Yeah, you're right. Of course they wouldn't deny my impeccable charms. What's your number? I'll be sure to text you when I find something. I can only shake my head incredulously as they begin sharing contact info. I dig into my free lunch, relishing the explosion of flavor in my mouth. Who's really improved at cooking. As I eat, I continue and examine my surroundings. The next group that catch my eye is Ari and Shigure. Ari is quietly munching on a peach, and in her standard baby hamster fashion. Shigure, meanwhile, has propped her feet up on a flower bed like a gangster. She appears to be eating some kind of sweet green dumpling. Shigure. Yes? Is that enough? What? This? She gestures to the green ball in her head. Ari nods. More than enough. They're melon paste moche, the root of immortality. What? There are no vegetables, no fruit, no protein. Well, yes, but it's not nutritious. Eat some veggies. If you insist, Ari. Ari shares a rare smile at this. I'm surprised by how open she is around Shigure. Makes me wonder how they know each other. Not only that, but Shigure actually listens to Ari. It seems like Ari's the only one who can put her in her place. Galloping goats, you don't mean to say? I do indeed. He's gone by now, far beyond the city limits and out of your scheming hands. And there go those two again. You misunderstand the meaning of omniscient, my dear Lady Bingham. Ha! As if you could beat true love. Oh no! I know that your lover is hiding. Right there. She whips her finger around in my direction, but thankfully Masato suddenly steps in front. Huh? Me? Jumping jackals! I always thought that sort of thing only happened in dramas. That's a proper Destiny-like moment, isn't it, Rui? Masato? My true love? Yeah, I don't think so. Masato seems to take this as a challenge. Every muscle tightens with competitive aggression as he steps between Rui and Akira, brandishing an imaginary sword. Come on and fight me, you big coward! Yeah, I'm here. I challenge you to a duel to the death. No, duel to the pain. I smell disaster afoot. The hell's a duel to the pain?
Akira and Rui, first your feet are cut off. Self-voicing disabled.
I forget that if you click B that happens. First your feet are cut off below the ankles, and then your hands at the wrists, and then your eyes, and then your tongue. That's only if I lose, right? Easy. Now fight me, you crooked canary. On second thought, peace. You should be with your true love. She flees away from the scene, taking cover behind Shigure. What are you doing? I'm hiding by the Alps. You're the Alps. Go away. I am not the Alps. That's what the Alps always say. Leave. In an unusual burst of energy, she reaches out and shoves Akira to the ground. Everything happens at once. Rui rushes to Akira, worriedly checking for her injury. Elizabeth and Masaki immediately get to their feet. Yahako freezes, and Masato sprints to Shigure. What the hell was that about? I'm thinking. Don't disturb me while I'm thinking. You didn't have to shove her. She wouldn't have left otherwise. How'd you know that, eh? I took a moment to analyze all of you when we first met, if you recall. You can't know somebody from one look. You can if you possess at least one functional hemisphere of a brain. Don't talk like that, Shigure. Guys, I'm fine. Let's just calm down. This does not stop the tension from rising. Even I can't help but feel amped up. It's one thing for Shigure to insult me, and another thing for her to insult one of my friends. Even if I insult him all the time. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite, I know. Just let me be. I need to think. Ain't you gonna say sorry? I won't say I'm sorry for something I have no reason to be sorry for. Akira didn't even do anything to you. She had no awareness of the comfort of others. She completely disregarded Ari's feelings on the matter. Everyone's eyes land on Ari, who blankly stares at her peach. Come to think of it, Akira would have been right next to Ari. I didn't mean to make anyone uncomfortable. I thought you guys were lonely. Just because you may be lonely in an identical situation does not give you the right to push your opinions onto others. I'm sorry. You did nothing wrong, Akira. Stop this, Shigure. On the contrary, you two were the ones horsing around, dragging everyone into your uncomfortable scenarios. Hey, ain't you the one making us investigate for you? I did nothing of the sort. Ishiyama was your requester. That ain't no excuse. Stop being so single-minded and think for once. All you can do is band together like sheep. Why don't you approach this from Ari's perspective? Everyone once again looks to Ari, who stops munching on her peach. Well, you just put her on the spot, which would make her uncomfortable. Don't speak as if you know more than I. Maybe you're the stubborn one, huh? This is degenerating fast. What is surprising is that Elizabeth and Masaki aren't making a move. They're just sitting back, watching the display before them without emotion. Clearly they value Shigure too highly to fight back, which means I have to do it. Rui, you may be saying this because you're still learning, but in the world of detectives... No, what you did was unnecessary, Shigure. Please don't tell me that this is real life. Don't you lecture me about what real life is or is not. Shut up, all of you. Amazingly, they actually quiet down. Akira, are you okay? Redder than rain, Cap. There's a slight tremble to her voice, but I ignore it. No need to stir up any more trouble. Good. Shigure, don't shove people. If she was making Ari uncomfortable... Ari! Were you uncomfortable? A tense moment of silence falls on the group. Ari only shrugs inconclusively. Okay, whatever. Akira, don't get too close again. Shigure, don't shove Akira again. Solved. But that's not fair too. Solved. That's it. Understood? Thankfully, she nods sullenly. Shigure only straightens her glasses, but I'm pretty sure that she'll also behave herself. Presently, I notice that Elizabeth and Masaki are looking at me with a tinge of respect. Well, at least someone's pleased with me. Guys, why don't we cool off for a bit? Let's do something fun. Nobody seems to react, but somehow I can tell that they're all interested. Fighting has a way of sucking it dry. Maybe it would be better if we redirect everyone's attention to something else. Something where if they end up fighting, at least they won't cause permanent emotional or physical scars. What do you suggest? Watching a movie? I subtly shake my head. We'd never get everyone to agree on the same movie. I mean, how about an amusement park? An amusement park? Yeah. There's that new high-tech one by the mall. You know, the one with the Lemniscate attractions. I vaguely recall... Oh, I remember talking about them. The engineering company that we talked about. Those big companies are always going to play a part. It's part of the world. It's there for a reason. It's got to be. I vaguely recall seeing something like that on the news. Lemniscate is a mega corporation of all things technical and media related. Partnering with a handful of large amusement parks all over the country, apparently they're going to revolutionize the entertainment. They're going to revolutionize entertainment. Oh, those looked amazing. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm in. Elizabeth only shakes her head. As remarkable as it sounds, I must pass. I have other duties to attend to. I consider this for a moment. Should I let her go? She did try her best in the investigation. But the image of squealing Elizabeth on top of a level on a top level roller coaster is just too good to pass up. Elizabeth, don't you know anything about coffee? Do you know anything about coffee? Her face pales up and she quickly glances around at the others. When they only return looks of confusion, she storms over to me, angrily hissing into my ear. Stop that! Stop that! Come with us. Give me one reason. Because you don't want anyone to find out about your job. Give me another reason. Because you'd be alone if you stayed here and that's kind of sad to me. The thought comes before I can stop it. I quickly wave it away so it won't take root. The last thing I need right now is to sympathize with Elizabeth. Because I'm so dashing. That isn't a good reason. You asked for a reason. That doesn't necessarily merit a good one. Blimey, I still can't believe you. She steps back, raising her voice so everyone can hear. Fine, but who's paying? I look to Shigure. Everyone follows suit. For a second, the detective stares back at us, uncomprehending. Then she leaps to her feet, face coloring in anger. No, absolutely not. Why? I harbor no incentive in chaperoning an ordinarily extensive conglomerate of cognitively impaired juveniles to a venue whose solitary objective is frivolous squandering of time. The insults only fuel me to think harder. The amusement park wouldn't be cheap. We need Shigure to pay for us. The question is, what will make her? Oh, of course, if it has anything to do with the case, Shigure will be there in a blink of an eye. Well, I wasn't going to mention this, but because it seemed so trivial at the time, but there was a minor lead from today. And you did not think to tell me sooner? Like I said, it felt too trivial for me to mention. Honestly, I don't really want to go to the park, but I feel like it might give us some important information. Well, what was the lead? Ad-libbing in front of a teacher is one thing, but ad-libbing in front of Shigure is a different matter entirely. I struggled to work past my sluggish brain for answers. Well, there were some claims that the Yakuza might own the amusement park. It might give us a clue on how the students were able to leave the campus after curfew. Wait, there's no reason for the Yakuza to be affiliated with the disappearances. Well, that would tie two controversial pieces of evidence from last week. Is she serious? Ari, amusement park? I shouldn't go. Remember? Surprisingly, Ari's silence only seems to strengthen Shigure's resolve. Don't think of it in such a manner. Very well. Ishiyama, let us depart. Really? And you're paying for everyone? Oh yes, with your future wages. I'm not even getting paid. Hey, what's going on up here? Ah, Ryota! Mr. Ryota in his house. Let's go. As if there wasn't a party enough, Mr. Ryota arrives on the scene, brandishing a ruler in his right hand. He stops short upon seeing our little group. Yama? Hey, Mr. Ryota. Hey, why, but it's the J-Man. What's up, Mr. Ryota? Hey, gents, ladies. What the hell's going on up here? The third floor officers swore up and down someone was getting murdered. I recall the decibel level of the argument and feel slightly guilty. Were we that loud? Well, enough that I'm supposed to give a disturbance warning, apparently. He brandishes a pile of detention notes threateningly. Everyone stiffens except Shigure and me. Probably a bad sign. Oh no, please, Mr. Ryota. Whatever could be wrong, Miss Oshiro. And with the total lack of elegance, he flings the slips of paper over the banister off the roof. They rain down in shards of flapping pink to the school pool below. Listen, kids. You totally weren't up here. The officers were just hallucinating, and I totally did not just toss those attention slips into the pool. Relief pops up on everyone's faces. Trust Mr. Ryota to be the rebel. Now scram before they fire me, yeah? We don't need any further encouragement. Mr. Ryota is such a G, bro. Mr. Ryota's a G. He said, look, Motherfuckers, y'all just get the fuck off. I don't give a shit what happened. Just be gone. Away. Mr. Ryota's such a G, bro. We rush away from the rooftop greenhouse and down the stairs. Thankfully, the walk to the amusement park is uneventful. Nobody seems to notice when we pass by 6 police cars in the space of half an hour. Oh, that was an ending statement. I was like, why does that not make sense? The Palace theme park is startlingly successful, considering how recently it was founded, but that can largely be credited to its cutting-edge attractions. Even minor details like hologram park maps in every segment or experimental cleaning robots whirring around, everything makes the place seem like a place of the future. Looks like Lemniscate have really outdone themselves. Welcome, how many tickets? Yako swaggers to the front of the line, leaning on one elbow against the window. These are all my friends, you can bust them in, right? Sorry, who are you? The rest of us exchange dubious glances as Yahiko jerks back, clearly shocked. I'm Yahiko Ikari? Who? Yahiko Ikari, you know, the son of the Ikaris. There's a flicker of recognition in the attendant's eyes, but she doesn't budge. I wasn't aware the Ikaris had a son. Of course they do, it's me! Sorry, but do you have any proof? I knew you'd ask. Just call them right up. Wait, Yahiko? He confidently dials a number into his phone. We wait and wait and wait some more. Then he lowers his phone, looking sheepish. Sorry, they must be busy. But really, I am the son of the Ikaris. Look, I have a... Enough, we are simply wasting time. Shigure pushes... Is his dad, like... Is his pops, like, Lemniscate's, like, big CEO or some shit? Because that's pretty lit. If that's who he is. Shigure pushes in the front of him and sends out the card to the register. And hands out her card as the register racks up to startling numbers. Without further ado, we're ushered into the park, but not without some prominent glares from the staff. As we enter the main area, we're assaulted with smells of oily, overpriced food and the cloying scent of sugar. Exhausted parents are being dragged from place to place by bouncing, squealing children. Sorry guys, I really thought I could get us in. It's, fine. If it wasn't for the fact that his expression was totally serious, I would probably be mocking him. He can't seriously be the son of Lemniscate's higher-ups. Before we proceed any further, I recommend that you all exchange contact information. Obnoxious as it might be, you are now under my jurisdiction, and it is my responsibility to return you all safely. After a moment's pause, everyone moves into action. The only info I need to gather is Ari's, but others seem to be having more difficulty. Would you bestow upon me the honor of your number, milady? Oh, and this is where your reputation as school princess backfires tremendously. I suppose it wouldn't be too much trouble. He eagerly hands his phone to her, where she inputs her information slowly and agonizingly. Right, I've got an investigation to see, so here we must part. Honestly, I'm surprised that she isn't forcing us to investigate with her, especially considering that she paid. Ari, promise me you shall not participate. Ari, promise me you shall participate in everything. Thank you. Farewell. Duty calls. With that, she races off into the distance, cat bouncing merrily over her head. For some reason, after everyone's finishing exchanging information, they all turn to me. Guess I'm supposed to decide where to go. The fuck? I want to go to the sex showcase. That sounds fucking epic. My eyes are drawn to a large, oddly shaped building at the center of the map. It's clearly the biggest attraction in the park. What exactly do they have at this tech expo? You mean what did they have? You can pretty much find every limited skate device on display there, even their new tech that hasn't been released yet. Considering the building's size, I can see how they can accommodate it all. It says here they're holding some kind of lottery drawing for weed? I double-checked to see whether I read that correctly. Surely they don't mean what I'm thinking, do they? What? Why would they be giving that away at a drawing? I'm puzzled as well. Someone mind explaining what this weed is? Weed is just an acronym for Wall Electric Energy Director. It's a new limited skate cell phone that can run on power from a wall socket without a battery. That sounds like an underwhelmingly feature to be so hyped about. We should go! This is an opportunity to introduce you to the world of technology, Yama. I feel like you just want to go for this weed. They did that on purpose. They did that on purpose. Not at all. Not at all. I only suggest this for your sake. If you stay ignorant about today's technology innovations, you'd be no better than a Neanderthal. They didn't invent the wheel, so it's not like they weren't smart. They did invent the wheel, so it's not like they weren't smart. In response to my sarcasm, Misaki looks me dead in the eye, and it's the same glare she gave us the moment before she dragged me somewhere against my will. We're going. And just as I predicted, she takes a hold of my arm, pulling me towards the direction of the expo. What about the others? Oh, I'm sure they'll follow. No need to worry about them. Fuck off. We dart into a building. I immediately notice the area is way too crowded for my liking. A stream of people push their way through the check-in lines, eager to receive admission. The scene is reminiscent of a herd of wildebeest flocking to a waterhole. I glance back to check our group, but they're nowhere in sight. I think we've lost the others. Good, with them gone, we have a better chance of winning that lottery drawing. I don't know if you've noticed, Mickey, but the odds aren't exactly in our favor. You must first play the game in order to win the game, Yama. That sounds like something a gambling addict would say. Ignoring my comment, she quickly takes her place in line. I'm a little surprised she doesn't force her way to the front. Luckily, it isn't long before we're called next. The attendant prompts us to hold out our wrists, giving us a pair of metallic wristbands. Imprinted on them are a set of numbers, which I presume are for the drawing. I take another hesitant glance around before entering the expo. There are way too many people here. Do you want to hold hands? What? Why? To prevent us from being separated. Why else? Oh, Without waiting for an answer, Misaki intertwines her slender fingers around mine and quickly leads me through the crowds. This feels familiar. Her firm grip, her brisk pace, her resolve despite my hesitation. After these years, Misaki hasn't changed at all, has she? She's still the same zealous girl who would drag me everywhere she wants. A sense of nostalgia causes me to grin. Honestly, I've missed this. Misaki suddenly stops dead in her tracks, breaking me from my reminiscence. This looks interesting. She stands before a large rack displaying an array of peculiar-looking goggles. There's an exaggerated curve to the lens, making them appear bulky. After examining them for a moment, Misaki grabs a pair and tries them on. They practically cover half of her face. I'm barely able to stifle a snort. Huh? What is it? See for yourself. She removes her goggles and slips them onto my face. They feel awkwardly large and must look equally as ridiculous. There are 3 video monitors displayed inside of the goggles lenses, giving me a panoramic view of my surroundings. I feel Misaki's hands brush against my cheek as she adjusts something to the side of the goggles. As she does, the camera zooms in and out of focus. They're called dragonfly lenses. They're sort of like panoramic binoculars. They're kind of impractical to wear though. I move the goggles and hand them back to her. She twirls them between her fingers, inspecting them closely. Maybe they were built to be sturdy? I guess that would make sense. Then let's try it out, shall we? Misaki draws back her arm and suddenly hurls them on the ground. Thankfully, they don't seem to break. But I can't help but gasp in surprise. What the heck do you think you're doing? I just wanted to see if they were sturdy. Duh. You didn't have to smash them on the ground, Mickey. What if they had broke? Then we would have been in deep trouble, wouldn't we? This girl, I swear she does these kind of things just to mess with me. Before I can express any of my annoyance, a nearby commotion grabs my attention. Wonder what that's about. With mouths agape, a group of people are fixated on a large object hovering a few meters above their heads. It zigzags haphazardly in the air as it comes dangerously close to colliding into them. From where we're standing, it looks almost like a drone? Watch out! In one swift moment, the drone changes its course and flies towards us. I'm barely able to push Misaki out of the way as it spirals into the display rack. Shards of metal and glass of the drone slide across the floor, but the goggles remain relatively undamaged. It seems they are pretty sturdy. Are you two alright? As Misaki and I regain our composure, a woman jogs over. Judging by her uniform, she must be one of the attendants running the expo. Yeah, we're fine, I think. I look over at Misaki, and she nods her head in confirmation. The woman breathes a sigh of relief, bowing her head apologetically. I'm terribly sorry. We were performing a demonstration and one of the drones stopped responding to our remote commands. A demonstration? Oh yes, would you like to visit our booth? The least I can do is give you a demonstration of our tech. I'm not sure how that would compensate for almost killing us with one of your drones. Of course! Misaki, however, doesn't seem to mind. Wonderful. If you two would please follow me, I'll show you the way. After navigating our way past the crowds, we come to a stop at a large military-themed booth. It's impressive to say the least. There are a number of electronics scattered about, but I haven't a clue what any of them are supposed to be. It's almost like someone just dumped a pile of scrap parts together and claimed it was state-of-the-art equipment. There's just a lot going on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping that we still get to chill with some of the other people. Of course, Elizabeth, because I want to know more about Elizabeth. I've kind of decided Elizabeth is one of my main goals in this story, is to figure out what's going on with Elizabeth, and Rui and them are all kind of secondary. Misaki's kind of cool. I kind of want to know more about her, but like, it's Elizabeth, Misaki, Rui. I think it's like my 3, and then of course we had everything that happens with Shigure is up there. But like a lot of like this right now, I'm just kind of like going through just to see what happens. I don't know what's going on. Or maybe I really am a Neanderthal who doesn't understand technology. Meh. The attendant places the drone, or rather what's left of it, on the counter. She takes a moment to examine the inside of the machine. With a solemn expression, she mumbles something under her breath. The Akaris are definitely not going to like this. Did I just hear her say the Akaris? Excuse me, do you mind telling us about them? About who? The Akaris. Oh, they're part of the Luminescence Board of Directors. The expo is sponsored by them, believe it or not. Their board of directors with Luminescape? If Yahiko is actually related to them, then why aren't most people aware of it? Unless they don't share a lot about their personal lives with the public. That seems pretty plausible, actually. Are you two ready to see something interesting? Before I can think more on it, the attendant props a large tablet on the counter for us to see. She expertly swipes her palm across its surface, resulting in an assortment of colored patterns to dance across the screen. The patterns gradually warp into a digital face of a man. Misaki gapes at it admiringly. This is Max. Say hello, Max. Hello. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. contrast to his appearance, the inflections on Max's voice sound very human-like. Oops. It's almost a bit disconcerting from something that looks so artificial. Max is one of our newly developed AI programs. AI as an artificial intelligence? Correct. While we've made some advancements in the last few years, we're only scratching the surface of what's possible with AI technology. Max is the product of that research so far. Masaki's eyes brighten in excitement as she examines the machine more closely. What was he created for exactly? He'll serve as an automated assistant for law enforcement in the future. An assistant? Max collects massive amounts of data from various sources and uses the information to determine suspected criminals. And he would relay his findings to the users in charge and suggest what actions they should take based on the situation. But isn't it possible for him to mistake someone for being a criminal? Highly improbable. If anything, Max would be more efficient than humans. His judgment wouldn't be clouded by emotion. I see. Curious, Masaki reaches out to touch the monitor. Forgive me for asking, but may I have your name? Startled by machine's sudden inquiry, Masaki jumps back, holding it tightly onto my shoulder. Oh, it's Masaki Kazahe. And how shall I address your partner? He directs his question at me. We're not partners. It's nice to meet you, we're not partners. Is he purposely being sarcastic, or machines capable of doing that? Thanks for your cooperation. I have stored your names for future reference. Forgive me, but I must shut down in order to perform the necessary system updates. Oh, of course. Have a good rest then, Max. The attendant promptly shuts off his power and carefully places him back behind the counter. When she pops back up, she beckons us over towards the corner where a large telescopic device sits by itself. This is a laser microphone. While they're used for surveillance, I sometimes use them to eavesdrop on my co-workers. She conspicuously winks at Masaki as she hands the headphones. The attendant then aims the microphone down towards one of the booths. The device uses a laser beam that detects the sound vibrations in distant objects. It then interprets the data through the headphones, allowing the person to hear the conversation that would otherwise be inaudible from a far distance. Can you hear it? Voices. Can you hear what they're saying? Masaki suddenly removes the headphone and quickly hands them back to the attendant, her cheeks flushing a bright red. What did you hear? Nothing. Let's try something else. That sure doesn't sound like nothing. If I said it's nothing, it's nothing! Thankfully for her, the building's PA system crackles to life. We are now announcing the winners for the lottery drawing. If you have the numbers 1623, please report to the front desk. Thank you. Immediately, Masaki eagerly checks her wristband. Looks like you were right. You didn't win? No, I wasn't even close. For a moment, she looks like she's about to cry. But she then throws her hands up in exasperation. This sucks. This lotto must be rigged. I don't think they would do that, do you, Mickey? And I was so excited to win the weed. It had to do that on purpose, right? As if remembering something, she turned to me with a scary gleam in her eyes. Let me get your digits. Sure, but I doubt I won either. Regardless, Masaki quickly picks up my sleeve. I don't believe it. You actually won! Wait, really? Let us make haste. We haven't a moment to spare. And just like that, she begins pulling me to the front desk. I'm barely able to give the attendant a slight wave as we speed off. After one of the staffs confirms my numbers, they hand me a small box. On it, Lemon-Skate's infamous logo decorates its cover. Kinda want to see what it looks like. So many TV. It seems like a really nice place for an expo, but not as futuristic as it could look. If they were going for that, at least. Honestly, it's not like I really need another phone. My current one works just fine, so this model would likely just collect dust somewhere in my apartment. I hand Masaki the box. She can't seem to decide whether she should immediately tear it open now or show some restraint. Are you sure you want to give it to me? These models are expensive, you know. Isn't that why you brought me here? Well, partly, but that wasn't the only reason. I just wanted to spend some time with you since we haven't talked much lately. Besides, it's not like I'm some heartless tech addict who just uses you as a tool. I can't help but smile at that. She seems to take this as confirmation to unwrap the cell phone from its case. Oh, the camera resolution is a lot higher than my current phone. Why don't we take a photo together and try it out? Photo of both of us? Camera shy, aren't we? Well, no, but... Misaki suddenly hooks her arm around my shoulder, pulling me close. I feel my cheeks press against hers as she positions the phone for a good shot. Say cheese! I'm prepped. I'm temporarily blinded by the flash of the light. It takes a moment before my vision comes back into focus. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize the flash was on. At least you didn't blink. As she shows me the picture, I can't help but cringe. It's high resolution, alright. You can see every detail of my face as I awkwardly wince from the flash. Misaki, however, looks as perfect as ever. I guess she really is cut out for the modeling business, isn't she? Handing Misaki back her phone, my own phone suddenly trills in my pocket. Shigure. Hey, where'd you and Mickey run off to? Hello? Did you forget how to use your phone? I just reported a lost child to security. We'll be waiting to the food court whenever you show up. Is there any more to that, or is that it? Who is it? Rui, she's wondering where we went. Oh, let's not keep her waiting. Alright, apparently we're going to the food court now. Misaki takes my hand once more as we both make our way out of the expo. When we meet back up for the group, it's apparent Rui isn't happy with me. She avoids eye contact, focusing her attention on the hot dog she's munching on. Hey, look who decided to join us again. It's not like I was given a choice. I stare pointedly at Misaki, but she only grins. So are you guys up to heading somewhere else? Anywhere's fine with me, as long as it's fun. I shall leave the decision to you. You're our navigator. You're the navigator of this expedition, Cap. Just lead the way and we shall follow, even to the depths of Hades. Okay then. I pull out the map and give it another skim. Let's do the tower drop. Why not? Several terrified screams from nearby turn my attention to a tower of twisted metal that seems to stretch to the sky. Masato eagerly nudges me in the ribs, pointed frantically at said tower of twisted metal. Hey Yama, you and me. What? Tower drop, man. No. There are more elegant ways of suicide, you know. It ain't suicide, it'll be awesome. Clearly his definition of awesome vastly differs from mine, or any sane person's definition of awesome. Have fun. You gotta come with me. What? Why? It's destiny, man. Can't you hear it calling you? The ground is calling me more. TBH. Like, fuck you mean? Shit. Ever been on Falcon's Fury? Cause that shit's terrifying. Falcon's Fury. Look that one up. Busch Gardens. I'm a Florida boy, alright. Fuck that place. I love Busch Gardens. I have a year pass. I should go sometime. Stop babying around. Think of it this way. Gravity's acceleration is 9.8 meters per second squared, and that tower is maybe 125 meters high. If we plug it in to figure out the ending velocity of a fallen object, we can get the square root of 2 times 9, which is, that gets us 49.5. Bam! Our ending velocity is 49.95 meters per second downward, neglecting air resistance, of course. Then we plug that in time equation, we get to we got to divide our velocity gravity, so the 49. So it means that the tower breaks, you'll only be terrified of your wits for 5.5 seconds before you die and quick a painless death. Thanks, that's really reassuring. Still, this sudden display of intelligence leaves everyone in shocked silence. Masato easily grasps me by the arm and lugs me toward the tower. Sometimes I think Masato's a lot smarter than I give him credit for. I feel an impending sense of doom as the attendant straps me in the tower seat, leaving my legs dangling in thin air. I don't see why anyone would do this for fun. Being terrified is fun, man! You're a masochist. My stomach lodges in my throat as our seats begin to rise. I note there's a hyperventilating girl to my left, and further down, a kid looks like he's about to vomit. Hey, you should calm down, man. You look like a little Habaki. What? Habaki, bro. 8 years old. Oh, I didn't know you had a little brother. Got lots of them. More to spare. 4 little tykes to look after. Ah. Wait a minute. 4 siblings? You really didn't know? One the right mind would have 5 children. 8 technically, but the older ones are in college. You realize that just makes things more outrageous, right? How could 2 people possibly take care of 8 children? You saying that Mom and Pa didn't raise us right? Well, honestly, if every member of the family is as capable as Masato, I'd be terrified of how much power they'd have. What was it like growing up? It was amazing. We learned how to fight tooth and nail for our survival. Is that psychologically healthy? How did you, survive? Competitions, man. Competitions are the answer to everything. Things are beginning to make a lot more sense. So you had to fight for your food when you were a baby? Nah, Mom fed me then. What about when you were a toddler? Ah, come on. No Kurogane lets another Kurogane starve. What? Then why did you have competitions at all? Ha! I get you now, Yama. I kinda was thinking, you know? Why don't you try out anything? But I get it now. It's because you don't want anything. Something about his words cuts deeper than I expect. Why does that have to do with anything with food competitions? Easy. We all wanted desserts, so we all fought for them. So you split the regular food but fought for treats? Yep. If nothing else, talking with Masato helps distract me from the dizzying plunge beneath my feet. I search for more questions to keep my mind occupied. How'd your parents manage to feed 8 children? Older ones worked, including me. You have a job? Track is my job. You get paid? I get a scholarship. Same thing. How will you pay for college? Also scholarship. I need a full ride. Nothing less can do. I can't help but feel undeservingly privileged. I've never had to worry about money, even during Isamu's down points. Is that what all your siblings have done? It's the Kurogane tradition, man. Maya's the oldest. She trained herself in Taekwondo till she could work and pay for her own lessons. Got a scholarship to Seoul Uni after she won nationals. And Yudai, he's the second oldest. Prodigy at piano. Played in the music shop because Mom and Pa ain't got one. Happened to run into some dude from Juilliard, and next thing you know, he's got a plane ticket to New York. I slouch in my shock. From the sounds of it, Kuroganes could conquer the universe if they set aside. So what? Here it comes, man. Brace yourself. He clutches into his armrest, and our seats begin to plummet to the ground. While I've never had a huge aversion for heights, this suddenly change of momentum twists my gut into knots. The vertigo throws me into nausea as wind screams past my ears into my hair. Yeah! After a long, long moment, we finally reach the bottom and somehow still in one piece. Now that's a ride! Yeah, a ride straight to hell. Yeah. Drop towers are fucked, bro. TBH. Although, if you've ever been on the Dr. Doom plunge, that shit's fun. Because they start you at the bottom, like... And that bitch goes up super fast, so it's like... I remember when I got on it, it was like, me and my friends, we got on, we're like, oh, this shit's about to be lit. And he's doing a whole evil monologue as Dr. Doom. And he's talking, and blah, and blah. Now prepare yourselves. We'll get started. And 3, 2, that bitch shot up at 2. Everyone screamed. Bro, it was so scary. It gets to the top, it's like, I think I'm bro, that shit was scary. It was so fun though, so fun. Anyway, the instant the attendee releases this, I bolt back to comfort of safety on my shaky knees. Well, look who's back. Shut up. But you look like you were having so much fun. Wanna go, Rui? No, I'm totally fine. Actually, I think she would love to go. Come on, Rui. No, I'm very fine. I'm very much fine. Hey, Yama, let's pick something. I don't mind waiting if you really want to go on. Mickey, then. I smirk at her obvious discomfort, but obligingly return back to the map. The extreme... Let's try the Ferris wheel. There's a Ferris wheel to our right. Basic, but huge, looming over the rest of the park. Heights, anyone? Heights is my middle name. No, it isn't. Either way, a Ferris wheel might be our best choice. It might calm some of us who are a little overexcited. She sends a significant glance at Akira, who is currently sprinting to and fro, wildly flapping her arms and snorting. I'm a dragon breathing fire. I'm flying. I'm a dragon. Maybe there has been too much excitement for the day. Everyone seems to look forward to taking a breather. Right, Ferris wheel it is. Rui clicks and growls a little at Akira, who clicks and growls back. Then, thankfully, we head towards the Ferris wheel without any more anomalies. The cars are small since the Ferris wheel is meant to fit as many of them as possible. Wait, the cars are small since the Ferris wheel is meant to fit as many of them as possible. They're only meant to fit 2 people. Guess we're paired off. Louis colors slightly at this. Everyone seems to notice. I pretend not to. I guess we are, huh? Hey, you and Cap should share a car. What makes you say that? Well, you're a pair. Why else? Akira. Well, Rui, if you make such a big deal. Anyway, I'm going with Masato. She shoots a very significant look at the rest of the group. Oh, of course. Masaki? Masaki, shall we? I believe we shall. And I'm with her? Her name is Ari, you know. But I'd rather go with... Ari it is! Oh no, I'm fucking this up. Ari it is! Wait, I missed something. What, do they think I'm blind? Well, it's settled. It looks like you have no choice but to ride in a car together. The others prance in their respective cars, leaving Rui and me in silence. That was quite possibly the most unsubtle way to get us together. I guess we should board. Yeah. Next time I see Akira, we're gonna have a little chat. And we're gonna stop it there because I'm an asshole. Guys, this has been Storytime Saturday with Lucid9, and I mean, a lot of things happened. I ended up going way longer than I should have, honestly. So, yeah, we're gonna have to cut it here. We're gonna have to gut it. But you know what? Having all the people together, I think I get to like get a little bit of extra story behind every single one of them, which would be really dope. I don't know which one is the correct one for Elizabeth, and that kind of makes me sad. But you know what? Right now, we're on a Ferris wheel with Rui, and we're gonna have to start that up next week. So, all things considered, guys, we learned a lot. I think we learned a lot. The only thing we didn't really learn is what the fuck is up with Shigure, motherfucker. Anyway, besides that, everything else was really dope. We had a lot of interesting interactions today. I'd like to think, but of course, I want to know which girl. Who do you guys want to know more about? Who do you guys want to see more? Obviously, I have choices when it comes to certain things, so like I can call over a friend to do homework with or whatever, and all that type of shit. Who do you guys want to see me interact with more? Obviously, I said I'm interested in interacting with Elizabeth, then Masaki and Rui. Those are my top three, probably in that order, more or less. And then, of course, everything that has to do with Shigure, because that's the fucking mystery part of this. But nonetheless, that's what I think. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments so I can actually, you know, get into some of the other stories that are also interesting. Nonetheless, guys, this has been Lucid9. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.